right, we are back. Hope everybody had a good little break. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Our next order of business is the spreadsheet phase. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The winter phase for
Yep.
our wonderful game. Does everybody have your character sheets available?
Yes.
I'm going to assume that means everybody does.
Yes.
Wait, is Rodance here?
Yeah, Rodance is
Okay.
here. All right, our first step. Rodance, this can be somewhat of a tedious process, so if I go too fast or you miss something, you have questions, please interject and let's get it resolved before we move on to the next thing. Because there's about like 8 or 9 steps, and it can get a little tedious at some points. And also dramatic. So, step number 1.
Dramatic.
Yeah, when you start rolling for who survives and which horses you lose.
Let's.
You forgot about that, huh?
Yeah, let me just give a small prayer really quick.
Do you need, anybody else want to do burnt offerings?
Is there such a thing?
Yes, burnt offerings are indeed a thing.
Then yeah.
Maybe sprinkle some sage in the air, throw some salt
Yep.
over his shoulder. I don't know. Rev,
How much is-
Anything to ensure
I
my
was just-
family survives. You know, considering it's very small already.
No, your
Never
family.
mind. Never mind. I was
Talon's
just curious.
family is tiny.
I was about to ask something, but I'm not gonna.
Okay. All right. Step 1. Roll for experience. All of your skills, traits, and passions that have a check, you're going to roll 1d20 against each one of them, one at a time. If you roll higher than its current value, increase it by 1. So, for instance, you have something at level 10. If you roll an 11 or higher, it increases. If you roll a 10, it does not increase. Everybody got that?
Wait. So just to confirm, if it's something we have checked, we roll off our current skill, or we just roll off a base 10.
You're gonna roll 1d20 against whatever its current level is, and you have to
Okay.
roll higher than that level.
Okay.
I use 10, probably not as a great example.
Wait. So if I roll against Hate Saxons, I've got to roll over a 27.
Well, you would roll 20 and then add 7 to that roll. So effectively, if you have something that is over 20, you have to roll a 20 on the dot. Did you really leave Tabletop Simulator and then? Jesus
Me?
Christ.
Who?
I see your. Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So
Wait, what?
don't worry about it. We're gonna move on. Yeah. So basically, you're gonna roll 1d20. If you have a skill, trait, or passion above 20, which that may not be accurate, but if you have something over 20, you need to roll a 20 straight up
Okay.
in order to increase it, and it's only increased by 1 if you do succeed. So
Fair enough.
roll away, my friends, and while you guys are doing that, I'm going to make a couple of arbitrary decisions for Sir Garrett and see if he gets anything.
So we
Wait.
just we do our own thing right now then
Yep.
to confirm.
Yep, and
So
just
anything that has a check, right?
yep, anything that has a check gets a 1d20.
And it
roll.
has to be higher than.
Yep, and it has to be higher than its current level.
All right.
So, for the personality traits, if I increase one, do I have to decrease the opposite one?
Correct.
So, my indulgent went up to my 11, and
Oh.
my temperate went down to 9.
Sounds right.
What happens if I roll a crit?
There's no such animal. You just have to roll
Damn.
higher. Whatever that level is, you have to roll that level, or excuse me, roll higher than that level. So that 20, whatever you just rolled, obviously went up by 1.
Can't say 2.
Nope.
Sad. All right.
Ironically, in the inverse, my temperate went up to 14 and my indulgent is down to.
In the inverse.
Yeah, because she just said her indulgent went up.
Oh, gotcha.
My horsemanship just went up.
Nice, nice.
My horsemanship went up as well. Wait, only by 1, right? If it rolls higher.
Yep, only goes up by 1.
All right.
I could swear I had a second personality trait that goes up. Oh, come on, 20. I want more Saxon. hate.
Talus, don't forget you are not rolling read Latin yet.
All right.
Dang it!
Actually,
I got an 18.
I'll do mine off air.
I got an 18 on the hate Saxons.
Oh, so close. But there's other things that can increase it too. Because I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
didn't it increase during gameplay to like actually up to like 28? Oh no, you failed. I noted it. It went up and then it went back down again. or something like that.
My fealty to my lord did not go anywhere.
Nope, I failed on that in my intrigue check.
What about my hospitality? Also failed on that.
Woohoo! My hatred of
honor?
magical creatures went up.
Okay. Well, since I don't want to lose family members, I'm saving my reroll tokens.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I might have to make a
I
rule
know-
of no reroll tokens during winter phase. That really ramps up the drama, doesn't it? The tension.
So my everybody advances a year, including my squire.
Is everybody done with step 1? Because
I'm not.
okay,
I have 1 or 2 more checks.
okay,
Oh,
Well,
how do
I'll-
you roll for personality traits again?
the same.
So if temperate's checked, and I got to roll higher than the temperate, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Alright.
It's just that with the personality traits, if one of them goes up, the other one has to go down because the two have to equal out to 20.
Alrighty. Well, nothing changed for me other than my horsemanship.
Really? That's the only one that went
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Okay. And if for Talus and Rev, if you guys noticed, I tried to give you a few more checks this year than last year because it seemed like last year, I think everybody only had like 2 or 3. It seemed like so. I was trying to give you guys an opportunity to increase more.
Yeah.
I only
All,
had 3 this one.
all of my crits were for things like appearance. It's like that didn't help.
Yeah. Well, I tried to. Well, I mean, like I tried to give you because like during the feast, like if you succeeded, I tried to give you a check if it made sense. There was 1 or 2 other times too where I was like, just for RP reasons or whatever.
Didn't really help me. Power went out.
Huh?
And you are a horrible roller, apparently.
Oh, whatever. You said power went out. I was like, what? It just went out again?
No, no, no.
I almost, and no bullshit, I almost started looking around. I was like, wait a minute, no, my power's still on. And I was like, hey, dumbass, your power's still on. You don't have to do that. All right, everybody good with step 1?
Sadly.
Yeah.
Okay. Step 2, check for aging. I'm going to read this real quick and then we'll do it. You're going to add 1 year to your character, your squire, and all family members and horses. A 21-year-old squire will be retired and replaced with a fresh 15-year-old squire sometime in the next year. Nobody is age 35 or higher. So basically, you're just going to add 1 year to all of your peoples.
I don't have my peoples,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
That's okay.
that's
I'm tracking.
all you.
Yeah, I'm keeping track.
If we can get together outside of games sometime during the week,
Yeah, I can.
I don't mind keeping track of my people
Yeah.
so that you have one less thing to do.
How about this? I have everybody on a spreadsheet. If
Well, like I
s-
said, you do it this time, and I'll handle it from here on.
Okay.
So we'll get together during the week and get it figured out.
Okay. Yeah. Too easy. All right. Step 3. Check for economic circumstances for the year 486. The base.
Wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Horses have to go up in age, right?
Effectively, you want to keep track of how old they are, because
Oh.
after 7 years, you start adding cumulative -1s to their survival rolls.
I'm looking on the information about the horse, and I don't see an age. So I guess that would go under.
You'd have to keep it you'd have to keep track of that separately or independently or whatever, because there is no.
Okay.
official-
Fuck. I don't know how old my horses are.
Don't worry about it. It's not exactly the age of the horse; it's how long you've been using it.
Okay,
Because if
3
you
years.
recall, like we
3?
touched on this briefly last time, some of your horses are only going to take like a couple years or whatever to get trained, but your like straight up charger war horse takes a lot of training and it takes a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
Whereas your sumpter, it just needs to follow someone leading it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So effectively, what I decided anyway was just keep track of how long you've had the horse, and once you've had it for 7 years, that's when you start worrying about the -1 cumulative.
So at the end of this year, I will have marked it as had it for 1 year.
Correct. All right, everybody good on step 2?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I
Step,
think our horses are on level 3, right? We're
well,
going into the third year?
Yeah, you're
would
closing
be
out
year-
the second year of your
Yeah,
horses.
this would be year 2.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, we're
Uh,
going into year 2? I thought we were...
No. You're
We're
closing
wrapping up,
closing
right.
out.
Okay,
your
yeah.
second years.
Okay.
but we don't need to keep track of any sort of variables until year 7.
Correct.
Okay. I still want to keep track of when year 7 is.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right.
So
Step.
I'm just
Oh my goodness.
so
Sorry.
Talus. This
Yeah.
might help you keep track of your year. I'm just putting by where the name of the horse is. I'm just putting age too.
Mm.
Yeah, you can call it age, or you can call it years of
Or
service.
I guess
just little
age
tick
3
marks if you
now.
want.
Going on to age
Yeah,
3.
it will be
Oh.
3 at the beginning of the new year, or at the end of the new
I'm
year.
just gonna put age 3 now. Yeah. All right.
Are we good to move on?
Sorry.
Oh, I do have a question. I was
Yes.
looking up this because I saw that technically squires can have skill checks. It says I can pick a squire has a level 5 skill of something. Did you roll that for mine, or do I pick that? Because she gets 6 first aid, 1 battle, 6 horsemen, and then some other skill at 5. I was wondering if you picked that already, or if I should just pick off the list.
I didn't because I never I have stats. Essentially, I have stats for when they become knights, and I basically defaulted with they're 15, so that's their skill roll for whatever. And then when they turn 21 and get knighted, they will have the actual stats that I have, unless I said something different.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
looking
saying
at the
Because
actual
because
book.
I know like a couple of the squires I mentioned they had various things at such and such level, but it was only would have been like 1 or 2 things for each of them. I do know in the book, I'm pretty sure it actually does give a couple of skills for them.
Yes, it does. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, so
Is
use
by default you have a squire, but for generic stuff. But if they're going to be something more particular,
Mhm.
then they have these are the typical squire skills.
Yeah, so use what's in the book as a default unless I've said anything different.
Okay,
than
cool.
that.
So I could pick the one random any other skill then.
Yeah,
Does it have to be a knight skill?
to be honest, I don't have a good answer off the top of my head because I want to default with it should be, but
Why don't-
maybe something RP related. Maybe it doesn't have to be. You know what I
well,
mean?
why don't we give an official answer sometime during the week? You can notify us on Discord after you've had time to think. Because I didn't realize that we were supposed to be doing anything with the squire. I thought we were just having a neutral. I thought you house ruled that they just had 15 skills and we weren't going to mess with that.
Yeah, I'll see what I can dig up on that. I'll look that up. Squire skills. I'll just leave Squire skills in.
It is specifically page 50, or
Okay.
page 48, PDF 50.
Okay, page 48.
My squire's Nate was Alwyn, right?
That sounds right.
With the
Do I have to look it up out of my notes to tell you what year?
AWYLN.
But hold on, that was too many voices at one time. Talus.
How do you spell it?
I believe it was OLWYN.
OLWEN?
YN. That's in
Alright.
a different set of notes. So let me double check. That would have been 2 sessions ago.
I only wrote down the name of my squire. Huh. I mean, I have all the squires' names in my notes, but
Oh, mine's going on to age 16. All right.
Oh no, Talus. I'm sorry. Owen. It's OLWEN.
Bro, okay.
I just pulled up the file that had his name in it from when
Yep,
I
it's
actually
all
divvied
good.
out the
Talus, play your bruh sound file.
Bruh.
All right, Redance, you were trying to ask me something, I think, regarding
that's
squire
fine.
skills, maybe.
You'll get back to me later.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, I was just asking if I'm picking or you're picking it. So I don't really care either. I just want to write in the slot on my sheet.
No, I'll get it. I'll get more information about the squire skills, and I'll throw it in Pendragon General sometime in the next day or two. That takes us to economic circumstances. So, essentially, I'm going to roll against a 12, and you guys are going to roll against your stewardship skills for whoever is stewarding your lands. Rodance, that should be your sister Carrison. I want to say off the top of my head that was a 9 that she ended up with.
Yes. I have it written in my notes that she's stewardship 9.
Talus, you're using your mother. I don't remember what she had.
She had 15.
Okay.
I have it
and
written
then,
down from last winter phase.
And then Rev, you just got married. You have the option of using your new wife, or you can let your mother do it.
Well, I mean, would I roll for my wife, or is it already a set skill, or what's the?
Well, let's see. She's 16, so do this 1d6 plus 6 to determine Melisandre's stewardship. So 1d6 plus 6.
Okay, that's the wrong die. Come on, 6.
Not bad.
Oh.
11.
So I believe my mother's is 13. So, and this was what I was going to already say. Anyway, I'm looking to see where that was. I thought I had it in my notes here somewhere, but I'm not finding it.
I'll go with 13. I don't remember specifically, but that sounds like nobody had stellar. Like,
I had 15.
yeah, 15 was like the best.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe I put it in my notes over here. It would have been. Anyway, let's just say 13. Yes, it is. I found it in my notes. But what I was gonna say before is when I wasn't sure is like, since she's new to everything, like brand spanking new,
Mm-hmm.
they're
right there with you.
probably sort of doing it together with my mother showing her the ropes.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense that you use your mother. I just wanted to give you the option, but it makes absolute perfect sense for mom to do it, and
Right. Now,
let
is
her
there
learn
any?
things.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Because I genuinely want to know, is there a way for my wife's stewardship to level up over time?
Yes, the last step of winter phase, and I have to double check because I
Okay.
keep forgetting to add
I
it.
wasn't-
But
I
essentially,
wasn't
there's a
trying to
couple of
pin you
skill points that you can add that you can use for your family members to increase. Specifically, stewardship is one of the main reason. All right, so I'm going to be rolling against a 12. You guys will be rolling against a 9, 13, and 15. I'm going to roll 3d20. That will be one for each of you. Actually, that's not fair. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to roll once. Rev just fumbled.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good for you, my friend.
I thought you were rolling.
I also fumbled. Holy shit. You guys just got lucky as fuck. Okay. So Rev
I'm reroll token.
is using a reroll token. Okay. All right.
Wait, what are we rolling for? Sorry.
No, this
Take
is
it.
so this is determining your economic circumstances. I'll explain it as we go. I rolled a
Okay.
20. You guys are rolling against your individual stewardship rolls. Your result against my result determines where on the spectrum of money your family and lands ends up for the year. So,
Okay.
Talus, you rolled that 11.
Yeah.
That is a success because you were rolling against a 15, correct?
Yeah. Okay,
And
I'm just making sure.
fumbled. Okay. I'll
My
give-
reroll was a 4.
Okay, and that's also a success. So that's 2 of those. And I just need Rodance's roll, which
She rolled a 1.
was also a success. So this is the results. You guys,
Are rich?
yeah,
Yes.
you guys have had an amazing year. Somehow, some way, your lands have done extremely well. You received
I blame the priest.
You can. I wouldn't blame anybody for that. I would thank the
No,
priest.
that's what I meant.
So take note. You've got some modifiers that you guys need to take note of for the next few steps.
Oh shit. Wait, hold on. I don't have a pencil.
Yeah. How do you come to a role-playing game without some sort of writing implement?
I was using Sharpie and then decided that was too messy. Hold on.
I agree. That would be too messy.
Not the Sharpie is.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
hold
on.
We're waiting. That totally was not any one of us sighing into the mic right there.
Omar,
Yeah.
he's definitely your kid.
Yes, he is. Can confirm because I was there at his birth. I got lucky. You know, in my life, or with my profession, all 4 of my kids were born while I was in the military. I am incredibly thankful and fortunate in that I was there for each and every one of them, which many people in the military cannot say the same.
Yeah.
All right. I'm back.
Okay. So, horse survival rolls receive a +2 modifier.
Okay.
Wait, what year is it? 467?
No, 486.
486. I had total wrong numbers.
Mhm.
Wait, you said 86?
Yes, 486.
Okay.
So horse survival rolls are at a +2. Child survival rolls are a +3.
Holy shit.
And if you roll for childbirth, and this would in particular applies to Rev. Well, yeah, that one. I totally forgot to do the other part first. Nope, that's next. Okay. Childbirth rolls are +5.
Did we get superlative or rich?
We got
Because
superlative.
those are different.
We got superlative.
Ooh.
I fumbled
Ooh.
my weather roll, and you guys all succeeded. Which
Wait,
on my
okay.
matrix. Oh, if you're following with the winter phase in the core book, there's some changes because of the book that I'm using for it, which is the Great Pendragon campaign. There's a couple of steps modified and one or two added or something
Wait,
like
so +2 survival for the horses, +3 child survival, +5 child bearing.
that. +3 childbirth.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
child-
+5 childbirth.
childbirth. All right. Anything else?
That is it. I have more notes, but these are not necessarily modifiers.
All right.
So, what I have come up with on my understanding of the various rules and the systems that we're using, and this is still not 100% accurate necessarily, but I think in order to keep everything as simple as possible for everybody, what I defaulted to is every year your manor produces 10 Libram, okay? Based on where this particular stage lands you, whether it's impoverished, poor, normal, rich, or superlative, it takes 4 Libram to move from one level up a level, and 8 Libram to move 2 levels. Everybody following me so far? So if you were to roll impoverished, you need to pay 4 to get to poor, and 4 more to get to normal, where there are no modifiers.
Okay.
If you were to end up with normal, you would have to pay 8 Libram to get to superlative, because there's that rich level in between. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we can essentially spend our money to live better.
Right. Now, because you guys defaulted, or not, I shouldn't say defaulted, but because the way the results worked out, you're at such a higher level, you don't have to pay anything, which effectively means those 10 Libram that you just picked up from the end of the year go straight to your pocketbook.
So I now have 20 Libram.
Whatever you had from last year, well, no. Did you keep into account that you spent money going into
He
the
didn't.
feast?
No. He only spent.
I want to say you
I think he
spent
spent-
2, maybe 3?
Yep.
I don't remember.
I was
I think it was 2.
Yeah, like I
'Cause I
spent
didn't wanna spend a lot of
2
money.
Libra on fashion before Easter.
I think everybody did.
And then I fucking failed everything regardless. But
Yeah.
hey.
Also, Talis, one thing that you definitely need to do is you need to pay for your priest. You need to give him one of your Libram.
Okay, so I'm at 7 Libram.
Yep. So you need to make a note that every year Osgood is working with you, you have to pay him 1 Libram.
Wasn't I giving him extra for maintaining something?
I think you wanted to give him money for charity whenever he did a charity run type thing. I think.
But he didn't, right?
I mean, we can say that he did, and you could throw an extra Libram his way. Like, for the record, 1 Libram is a lot of money for most people. 10 Libram, for you guys, is a lot of money.
Well, yeah. I think the point was that I wanted him to help out with the poor and whatnot, and so I was paying him extra just to shelter people inside like a church or something.
Okay, well then,
But
yeah,
I don't know
we
if
can.
that necessarily happens or like.
Well, I'll leave
I
that
don't-
up to you. This year, and then I'll just try to remember to do it next year. Or you know what? Okay, let's do this. You pay him 1 just for his services. You pay him 2 to assist the poor and the people that need help. Because you can assume that as long as he's got the money to do it, he's going to keep doing it. Every
Alright.
year. He's just going to do it. So, but it's up to you to choose whether or not you want to effectively match him in putting up resources for helping the homeless and all that stuff. Does that make
Has
sense?
he done any of that? Is my
Yeah.
question now.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can, as a default answer, every year he's doing something to help the sick, help the poor, put people into a position where they can at least get out of the rain for a few nights. You can
All right.
assume he's doing that as part of his normal priestly church duties.
So then I'm at 6
So what you have to decide is whether or not you're going to assist him in giving him more resources, and what that would boil down to is the 15 people he sticks in a barn for a week can actually have some warm food most of those nights. Does that make
Okay, I'm
sense?
at 5 Libra.
Well, how much more are you trying to give him?
3.
Okay. So 1 for payment and then 2 additional?
Yep.
Okay. I want you guys to also, before we move on, I want you guys to, well, no, I'll address that later. That's another step. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So make sure you guys have deducted your whatever money you put aside for the feast to make yourselves look good. And then you guys don't have to spend anything here because of how the economic situation rolled out. Other than Talus, who had to pay his priest and then decided to give him some more. So whatever money you've got left over, you can do whatever you want with it. You can make purchases as shown in Chapter 8 of the core book, which is the economic chapter.
Oh fuck! I don't need to have the PDF loaded for that.
You don't listen. Don't try to figure all that stuff out right now.
Okay.
That's stuff that you would want to do offline. And if you find something that you want to buy, like you want to build, I don't know what's in there off the top of my head, but you can purchase equipment, you can build different things for your manors and stuff like that. I'm also in the process, very, 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 very slowly, of trying to put some stuff together that you guys can do to improve your manor, but it comes from the Book of the Estate, and I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it yet.
That's actually what I was gonna ask. Is there a way that I can invest?
There is, I just haven't implemented the rules yet. I have the
Okay.
Book of the Estate. There's a PDF. I may or may not have shared it, so you guys could reference it, but I have not. Like, there's a lot of information in there that is not specifically, well, if your player wants to build this, this is what it costs and how long it takes, and then once it's done, they get this benefit. There's some of that and a whole lot of background information I have to sieve everything out through.
Okay. So should I be paying that guy then for now, or?
It's totally up to you.
Well, let's just for his sake, because he is putting like money into it. Maybe let it. And this is a suggestion. You can shoot me down or not. Either like let him check charity if that's something he wants to do, or leave it up for future where this counts as an improvement that he can sort of retroactively put, say later, oh, you fed the poor, so you get this benefit.
You know what? I'll do that. So here's what you can do. Either pay your priest your normal 1 librum for the year, and then hold on to the rest of the money if you want, or give him the 2, or 1 or 2 librum that you want to do on top of his normal pay. If you give him additional money, you can check, generous? Yeah, you can check generous for next year.
Generous. All right.
Okay? Anything else regarding economics?
Not particularly
Not right now.
right now.
Okay.
No,
Since
I'm spending the additional 2 then for whatever right now, but
I wasn't
otherwise-
aware of the economics for the winter phase, so
Well, that's what I was trying to go for with that whole situation was the economics,
Yeah,
but I didn't realize that there was a whole ass chapter for it. So now I'm gonna have to go take a look at that myself because I'm now interested.
So I brought it up last winter phase, but nobody got back with me, and I think part of that is also my fault because I never I don't want to say urged or pushed anybody, but I never reminded anyone to actually take a look at it. So
I
Yeah,
was probably-
I should have.
I was probably too much in panic mode of my character sheet not getting saved at that point.
it's entirely possible too. I don't remember how all that stuff shook out, but effectively, you guys have all 10 Libra minus whatever requirements and choices you've made up to this point, on top of whatever you had going into winter phase. So, like for instance, Rev, you had like 5 just from the wedding, and then you had whatever you had left over from last year and the feast.
I'm up to 23.
Okay. All right. And then Redance, I don't remember what you started with, but you have 10 more now.
I'm
Wait,
not
how much
sure
did you?
what I started with either.
You started us with nothing, and you gave us 10 on our first winter. is
Last
how you
winter
handled it.
phase.
I thought Dallin got like 2 or something like that.
Maybe she did. I'm not saying you didn't do it different for her. I'm just telling you what you did for us.
No, I'm trying to
No,
remember
you
now.
gave me the option of pre-spending a little.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, in this case, yeah, you got the 10. I gave you. Did I give you up to 2 just because in order to give you at least an opportunity to compete for the entrance?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so now this is your first year's worth of payout. So. Okay. The next step is stable rolls. You're gonna roll 1d20, and I think we can actually skip this step altogether. And here's why.
Why?
Well, I'm about to explain. So everybody's superlative, which means your horse survival rolls receive a +2. Which means even if you roll a 1, the result is a 3, and on a 3 or better, your horse survives. Your horses literally cannot die this year.
Unless we roll
Unless
a
they
1.
have... No, even if you roll a 1. The only way your horses would die this year if they were old, and none of them are.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Our next stage is family roles. In the first part of that stage, marriage plans and motions. And I'm going to summarize this information. In short, are you planning on getting married? Don't answer that yet. There are 3 classes into which you can marry. And they are above your class, within your class, or below your class. If you choose to marry above your class, the only way you can do that is through roleplay and roleplay alone. Okay? You can choose to marry below your class, which is in effect getting married, and it matters not to whom. The handmaiden for your wife, or excuse me, for your lord's wife, a serving woman, the younger sister of a knight. These can happen, and all it takes is a simple loyalty or fealty of Lord. In general, it's almost a safe bet you can get married that way. If you choose to go within your class, which is generally how I did Rev's marriage to, or excuse me, Everhart's marriage to Farvel's sister, there are a few possibilities available, plus some shit we can make up on the spot. But essentially, you would make a roll and either choose to get married or choose to wait 1 more year. And if that roll was successful and you wait, you get a +1 bonus to a table that you would roll on that determines who you marry, what kind of dowry you receive, and how much glory you receive.
So, question.
Answers.
When we're marrying above our station, essentially,
Yes.
what exactly is that going to look like? You said roleplay entirely.
So, effectively, you can't just randomly acquire a wife if you're trying to marry above your class.
Yeah.
I would have to have a female personality that would be portrayed at some point in time. You would have to roleplay some sort of interaction or 5 with them. And then based on me as the GM determining how the progress of that relationship goes, and you deciding to say whether or not you get married to that person, then I as the GM can say, well, things are going well, let's go ahead and make it official. That would be reserved for someone who would probably be like, if you were trying to marry the Earl's sister, I don't think the Earl has a sister, but just for the sake of argument, or another Earl's sister even.
Daughter?
Or daughter, for that matter.
I don't even know.
Like and that note, like I would have some NPCs laying around waiting for you guys to try to swoop in, as it were.
And I'm assuming if I marry into my same class, essentially, it'd be someone along as any other manner, essentially, right?
Correct. So these are some of the options that are on the table that you would randomly roll on if you were trying to marry within your class. They are a wealthy commoner, the daughter of house knights, the daughter of vassal knights, and for clarity's sake, a house knight is like the landless knights that work for you, and then the vassal knight is people like you.
Okay, so I'm looking to... But there's no... okay, I don't know if there's any specific, like, female vassal knights nearby, though. I'm assuming you'd roll that.
There are a couple. I'm going to... I'm looking in my NPCs. Give me 1 moment. There are a couple.
And what happens if we do?
Here we
Do
go.
we become the manor lord for that as well?
In effect, yes.
So I'd have to take care of 2 places then.
Right. But also,
Yeah.
it doesn't quite work the same as, well, you get 10 Librum for your lands and 10 more for another one. You would only get a small portion of that land's, basically, output. There are 4 ladies in the court of Earl Roderick that are currently available for marriage. If you would like, and this is also for you, Sir Dallin, that these would be considered within your class. There is the Lady Adwin, There's I don't have a specific location. I have their home or whatever in Sarum.
Isn't that the?
Sarum
Oh,
is the
you mean
capital of
it's like
Salisbury.
kingdom? Yeah.
Sarum is the capital of the county of Salisbury. So there's
Why are they in Sar?
that's just where
Okay.
they listen. That's the notes. That's the book. That's just where they are. But they do have each of these do have some domain manners.
Okay.
And I need to look up what specifically domain means in this particular context, and what that means for you guys. But we can jump that bridge when we get there. So there's Lady Adwen. She is 21. Her father died in the Battle of 484, which is the big battle of Baden Hill.
Yeah.
Or not Baden Hill, Damien Hill and everything, where everybody's father died. Everybody's father died in that one, essentially.
Stupid sex.
She is considered to be very beautiful and a bit standoffish.
Okay.
There is the Lady Elaine, who is 27. Her first husband was killed by a base-born lover who was later hanged. So she had a husband.
A base-born.
Yeah, I'm getting
what?
there. I'm getting there. Base-born is a medieval term for a low-born commoner.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, so she was married to, a lord or whatever. She had a commoner lover who killed her husband, and then he was hanged for killing a noble.
Yeah.
By many, she is considered to be unfaithful. There's also Lady Guyona, and I will spell all these out as needed. She is 28. She is a handmaiden to Countess Ellen. Ellen is the wife of Sir Roderick. The unique twist for Lady Guyona is that she has had 4 previous fiancés who all died in battle sometime after having proposed to her.
Uh-huh.
So basically she's considered unlucky. And then lastly is the Lady Indeg. She is 41. She is considered to be the richest heiress in the county. She is twice widowed, but it's suggested or hinted around the county that maybe she would like a young, dashing knight to keep her company.
Okay.
Those are the 4 that I currently have available for marrying within your class. I can generate some bullshit if you give me some time.
Farvel, are you looking for a sugar mama?
That's
I know,
very
right?
much what she would be.
What?
So, again, these are the 4 that I have prepared at the moment, as far as within your class. Perhaps even arguably above your class for 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
However, I will consider them for in-game reasons or what have you as being within your class. Alternatively, you can simply roll to randomly determine who your spouse will be, or you can make your courtesy roll or whatever it is that you have to do for your lord to get his approval and simply wait a year for a +1. And the way that would be narratively spoken or described is you have met your spouse candidate and elected to wait another year. You can also get +1 per year you wait, provided that each year you are successful on that particular roll. I may have gone a little fast.
So basically, if you're random rolling, you have to pass your courtesy check first.
Yes.
And then you can choose to either pursue the table or you just fail and then you don't get any more options.
Correct. I would like to see a little bit of RP if you go after these 4 in particular. Or any one of these 4, I should say. But I will, mechanically speaking, we can retcon a little bit of interactions. For instance, Lady Guyona is a handmaiden to Countess Ellen, so it's not entirely outside the realm of reason to argue that at some point you may have talked to her briefly in, you're in the castle trying to find the Earl, and like, hey, where is the Earl? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, sweet cheeks.
Well, who was the first person that you mentioned? That
Lady
was 21.
Yeah, Lady Adwen.
How do you
She's
spell
21.
that?
ADWEN.
Sounds like a piece of software.
She is essentially, basically without having any more notes, I would argue that she may be the only child of a vassal knight that died in that big battle of 484. And so therefore
Okay.
she's got plenty of land, actually.
That's fine. That's all I had questioned for
Okay.
now, I guess.
Well, then my question is, for both Sir Farvel and Sir Dallin, what are your intentions, given all of this encyclopedia-sized amount of information regarding getting married?
I am interested in Lady Adwin, I guess.
Okay.
I send the bear head that I got from my first conquest as a.
You're going to take your bear head... Hold on, I want to see if I got this right. I'm being kind of facetious, but I'm also curious. You're going to take your bear head off of your wall in your manor, and you're going to send it to Lady Adwin as a gift, and with it, it's going to have a card or something that says... What?
Marriage proposal.
Marry me, I am a killer of bears. All right.
Yeah.
I'm being incredibly sarcastic, but effectively that's what you're doing. Yes.
Yeah.
That bears all my love for you.
You know what? Hold on. This seems a little crazy to me. I'm not gonna say no. Because I'm amused by this as well. I want you to do something first. I'm gonna have you
I'll
roll
help him
something.
roll his courtesy check because
Oh, he's not rolling courtesy just yet. He's
Can
not...
I clear?
Hold
I
on,
just wanna
hold
know,
on,
like, where this is
hold
going.
on. I'm trying to find a personality trait or something that makes sense for what he's trying to pull. You know what? I'll
That's
give this.
pride, man.
Yeah. Oh, pride. Ooh. That's a good one. Except his proud is 7.
Well, that's because he's a Christian.
I just want to know something for headcanon real quick. Did
Yeah.
you like prepare the skull? Is it like a bleached skull, or is it like a half rotted bear head that's been hanging on
I'm
your
picturing
wall?
a stuffed
pretty
or
bleak.
taxidermy something.
Yeah.
I'm picturing taxidermy has happened here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. No.
Yours
You know
is
what?
rotting, that'd be pretty
Okay.
bad.
Here's what I'll do. I need you to roll proud. On my character sheet for you, I have 7. I don't know if it's gone up or not.
Proud is part of. Oh, so yeah, it's 7 still.
Yeah, I need you to roll proud. If you pass, I'm going to give you a +3 on your courtesy. If you fail, you're going to roll courtesy normal. And if you fumble, you're going to get a -3 courtesy.
Wait, what do I gotta roll? 6?
1d20.
Right? 1d6?
Nope.
Oh, 1d20. Yikes.
against your courtesy.
That's not what I meant to.
Yeah, I know what you meant to do. I do that all the time.
Hey!
That's a pass. That is a success. All right. What is your... Let me double check my... I want to check my notes. Because I feel like courtesy is not the correct answer, but I think it is. On a fumble... Okay, so marry within your class. Yep, it is courtesy. Okay. What is your courtesy at? Your courtesy is at... It's a
8.
skill. It's an 8. So you're going to roll against an 11. 1d20.
Let's see.
There you go.
I am
That
curious.
is a success. Okay. So not only here's okay. Here's how this plays out. When you approach Earl Roderick sometime late in the year, say somewhere between harvest and Christmas, you tell him what you have done. And because you need his permission to get married, right? And you tell him that you sent the bear's head, this stuffed bear's head that you got from Imber when you guys went bear hunting.
Yep.
You sent it to Lady Adwin. And she is actually a bit impressed. And I think part of the reason why she's impressed is she heard the story before she saw the bear. And the bear actually, sells the story. The bear's head sells the story. Like, at first she's kind of like, I don't know. Anybody could say they went in the woods and killed a bear. But no, I have the bear's head. It's right here. It's yours now. Marry me. And so now she's like, okay, I believe you. You did this. If the Earl blesses off on this, I'll do it. So when you go to talk to the Earl to get your story, or get his permission, you tell him, I sent off this bear's head because she didn't believe the story I told her. She does. She's agreed to marry me if I get your blessing. And meanwhile, the Earl's just like, you did what? You said
He's
the...
probably
And
cackling from
then, because maybe somewhere in the... If you guys recall, Earl Roderick had something of a history with somebody from Levcomagnes, which is Silchester area.
Right.
He had something of a rivalry with somebody over his own wife. And so maybe this somehow sparked some sort of pseudo-barbaric romantic side of him, and he's actually impressed. You may now count Lady Adwin as your spouse. I owe you some information about the manners that she brings with you. Or
Wait,
with
she
her.
owns
She owns
multiple?
Yes. According
What the fuck?
to my notes, she owns, let me see. She owns what are considered to be 2 domain manors and 4 enfeoffed manors, and I need to look up specifically what that means for you guys, the players. I owe you that information. That information will come later this week.
Okay, so I can put her as my spouse, though?
Yes. And give me just a moment, and I'll update your shit. I need to make notes for myself too.
My lucky rolls have come back. Earlier, they didn't mean anything for the skills. But yes!
All right, so Sir Farvel now has his Lady Adwin. Let's do this. Lady Adwin. Nope, that's not right. Wife. Lady Adwin. She is female. What year was she born? Excuse me.
She's
65.
Oh, wait, are we 24 now, by the way?
No, that
Rev?
doesn't sound right.
Or 23? We're
23.
going on to
You're
23?
You're becoming 23.
Alright.
Have become 23. Okay. And I owe you more than that. So let me look up this lady in the book, because you get some glory for marrying her. And I want to see that was on.
That went better than I thought it would. I got worried for a second after you started saying all that stuff.
I mean, you effectively rolled successes, so. Lady, oh my god. Alright, so I want you to make note of this.
Uh-oh.
Her appearance is 18. It is the Kimrick cultural maximum. So
Oh my
effectively,
God.
she is smoking hot.
Oh my god. Wait a second. Wait, appearance was 18?
Yes.
Max for what? Kimrick?
The max for Kimrick attributes is 18.
Which is what everyone is, right?
Yeah, everyone's max is
Okay.
18.
Jeez.
I also need you to make note that.
What is my appearance?
Slow down.
Hold up.
Slow down. Stay focused here. You can look up your appearance in a second. Her glory that you receive for marrying her. Are you ready?
I'm marrying twice above my station in appearance. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, that tracks. Sorry about your genes, dude. Are you ready for this number of glory that she's about to give you?
Fuck, where'd my glory paper go? Hold on.
Oh my god, dude.
Go ahead, just tell me, it's fine.
How come is it the default option rather than the creative option gives better rewards?
Alright, go ahead.
740.
I was about to say, yo, 7?
Uh-huh.
Wait, 740 glory.
Yeah, you receive 740 glory for marrying the daughter of Sir Blaise.
Shit, my pencil keeps breaking. Marrying... what's his last...
His name is Blaise. B-L-E-S. I probably am mispronouncing that.
B-E-L-Z?
Nope.
Nope.
B-L-E-S.
Bless. I don't like bless.
You, in effect, have become a banneret. And a rich knight. I owe you information, in particular, about your new holdings. The glory from marrying Lady Adwin applies when we get to adding up all the glory, but the glory from any of the holdings and stuff will not apply until next year. Alright?
Sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that one more time. My dad called me. Other dad. Just that last part. I have the 740
You get
glory.
You get glory for owning land, effectively.
Okay.
But that glory will not apply this year. It will apply next year. The only glory that you get to apply here in a minute or two is the glory from marrying her.
Okay. for next year though, what's the
I-
487?
So for 487, you're gonna get glory for having land.
How much?
I don't know. I'll get back with you on that.
Oh. Because I have paper down like notes for each year for
Yeah,
glory. How much I get?
Absolutely. All right, that takes care of you, as far as marriage is concerned.
Okay.
Sir
Am I good
Dallin.
to go AFK for a
Yeah.
second?
You've got a
Yeah,
moment,
okay.
because I think we're gonna be here for a moment or two for Sir Dallin.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I need you to roll. Roll 2d6 for me, +6. This is Lady Adwig's or Adwin's.
Holy shit.
So
Plus
that's-
6?
Yeah, so 16.
16.
16 stewardship.
Oh. Dude, that's one better than my mom.
Yeah.
My rules are on point
Well,
today.
she was raised to be the steward
Yeah.
and is an adult. 21. So.
Wait, stewardship's 16, you said?
Yep.
This is the
Wait,
best
how-
thing that's happened this year.
How did we
Alright.
both roll a 5 and his wife has higher stewardship?
Your wife
it's-
is 5 years younger.
Okay.
That's what I'm deciding with.
Okay, that's fine. I
At
was
some
just
point,
like-
I put it
I
in.
was
Because it's 1d6 plus 6, 2d6 plus 6, and then like 60 or 3d6 plus something. And it was age based when I initially came up with that stuff.
Okay.
Sir Dallin, let's talk about your marriage and attempts to get married.
Okay, so that leaves there's 3 ladies of the court already made up or a random roll table.
Correct.
So we basically got Miss Cougar and
Yes.
Miss Unlucky and
Yes.
somebody else left.
You have Lady Elaine, who is the one that had the commoner lover, considered to be unfaithful.
So Miss Unfaithful, Miss Unlucky,
Yep.
and Miss Cougar.
Yep. Yeah. And you could, of course, just go with a random. Or you can go with, you know what? I'll wait another year. Or you could marry below your class.
Well, I want to make the courtesy check up front,
Okay.
because if I don't make that, I can't get married, period. So
Correct. So that's... You're just going to roll against your courtesy.
my courtesy's a 15.
Nice.
That's the by tie stat that I picked. Remember when I was rolling my skills?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Did you just
Bruh.
critical?
Bruh.
Yes!
Okay. All right. I will... Okay. Yeah. So you check courtesy. Jesus Christ. What a great start. The Earl is
Yes.
almost... At this point, like, I'm being kind of sarcastic, but the Earl is almost begging you, will you please fucking get married now? You have his approval. Undeniable. Actually, that makes sense, too, because- So you have the Earl's permission. You don't even have somebody lined up. Yet somehow this scans because by the time of the harvest season and moving towards Christmas, the story of you and the giant has gotten around. So he's like, oh, yeah, you Slayer of Giants, please fucking get married. Like, yesterday.
Yes. Now the real question is, do I want to go with 3 of the people with baggage, or with somebody who has significantly less baggage?
So I will pose this at you. Taking a quick glance over the pre-gens, as it were, Sir Farvel married for beauty.
Hey.
I'm just saying, you did. And
I
it
guess
doesn't
that's
have to be true. It
true.
doesn't have to be true, but from
That's
the
what everybody
outside,
assumes with
yeah.
Mrs.
when they see
18.
when they see Lady Idwin on his arm, they're gonna be, especially when they look at his appearance score,
Hey.
they're gonna be like,
What is his appearance score
it's
anyways?
like an 11,
10.
I think. It's 10. So he's like, this mediocre-looking motherfucker pulled some serious game, right?
See, like, I have a 16 appearance, so...
So,
Jesus.
but I want to point out that of the 4 pre-gens, the one he chose had the least amount of glory.
Okay.
I'm
Now,
not touching.
I was also
Miss, Cheaty, because that just seems like bad juju.
I want to pose this to you, and I only bring this up because there was a Pendragon campaign that I was watching, and one of the player characters married Lady Elaine, and this player did a phenomenal job as a role player, and describing their interactions. Now, what ended up happening was, in their particular game, Lady Elaine basically manipulated this commoner into getting rid of her husband so that she could be free. For whatever reason. I don't know why. When the player character approached Lady Elaine, he basically said, there will be no love between us. We are marrying strictly for political gain. You're going to try to kill me. I may try to kill you. At the end of the day, we're still going to be married. And everything else, as far as the courts are concerned, and I don't mean judge courts, I mean the king courts, everything else will be kosher. And over several in-game years, this relationship went from effectively that they're trying to kill each other, they're sneaking around on each other, being all schemy with each other, to by the time he rolled her family survival roll and died, the player was a little shook. I, as a viewer, was like, oh my god, no. Almost as if I was watching Game of Thrones and didn't know some of the plot twists were going to happen the way they did, i.e. the Red Wedding.
The only way to deal with Game of Thrones is to watch it. Those books were painful to attempt to read.
I enjoyed
made it
the
halfway
books.
through the third one, and I was ready to toss it across the room.
I enjoyed it, but it took some perseverance to get through the fourth and fifth one, however.
Look, I cleared like 300 books last year. Between my manga, my standard,
Nice.
trashy romance and all that stuff.
That's actually impressive.
So, and that's just my ebooks that I cleared. So, for me, to sit there and go, I'm tossing this book, I'm not going to read it.
Yeah,
it happens 3 or 4 times a year.
Yep.
I tossed the entire series because the Game of Thrones writing was just bad.
Ugh.
Look, some people like the wordy nonsense.
Yeah.
Once you get to the 8th time of describing somebody's 3-page long description of their clothing, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, what I'm getting at is, it can be worked. It's just a matter of how you interpret her alleged unfaithfulness.
I'm personally curious, are any of them religiously aligned at this point?
Because
I am a pagan, and my squire is a pagan, and I'm wondering if I could get a pagan wife, too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. What is my spouse's
I
religion?
don't have... The book doesn't show any particular notes, so I'm assuming they're Christian.
Makes sense.
Now, and it's an assumption. They don't have to be. I think game-wise, we can go
I'm
either
really
way.
tempted to approach the older lady, Miss Cougar, and go like, look, I'm here to have some fun, and I technically need somebody to do some paperwork for me when I'm out campaigning. Are you down?
The only question
if you want to have a little bit on the side, we can make some arrangements.
There's all sorts of that. Within the nobles, right? When it comes to marriages and shit like that, that sort of agreement is, I would argue, commonplace.
Well, I'm just looking at my religious bonuses, and I'm like, I really have trouble coming up with a good way of spinning my willingness to kind of stick with the religion on the lustful aspect, and to normal RP with anyone other than the wife.
Yeah.
And the wife seems the best place to emphasize that particular thing.
Well, I've given you an option or two to consider. The question on the table right now is almost effectively, who are you marrying, or are you going to wait a year?
So, the one who's like 40, what's her name again?
The old one? Lady.
Yes, Miss Cougar Lady.
Yes, Lady Indeg. Arguably the richest heiress in the county.
I'm, like, straight up, I would be happy if she paid someone else to do my paperwork for me, because I am tired of it already. I love my intrigue. I love my courtesy. I'm not dealing with stewardship paperwork.
Well, traditionally it is the wife that does the stewardship. So, there is that. She would have a 3d6.
I can imagine the look on my mom and my sister's face when I bring her
Oh
home.
my god. Index. Hold on a second. Hold on.
She's older than my mom.
Hold on. Sir Elwyn is 42. Yeah, no. They are effectively the same age.
They were friends in high school.
They very well may well have been pages together. And then later handmaidens. And this hussy is now roaming around with my son? This is turning into fucking Days of Our Lives, the medieval skin. Jesus Christ.
I mean, can you imagine the look on my poor sister with her stewardship 9 face?
Oh god, yeah, Karrison just going, what the fuck are you doing, brother? Because again, siblings always call each other by sibling. What do you want to do? Because we gotta take a break.
Give me a couple minutes to think about it.
Alright, well, let's take a break in that case. And when we come back, we'll find out what Sir Dallin is going to do with his marriage options and what Rodance is going to do to give me more gray hair. We'll be back in a few minutes, my friends.